It's the TEFL Express podcast, brought to you by TEFL Express, your partner in the world of teaching English as a foreign language. For all the latest and greatest in the world of TEFL training and materials, please visit our website at teflexpress.co.uk. Enjoy the show!
Hi, this is the TEFLCast, and today we have a guest with us. Before we begin, can I please get you to introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So, my name's Lloyd Shepherd. I'm from the UK, from Hertfordshire. Currently, I'm living in China. I've lived here for 4 years, and along with my partner, Lee McHale, I run Graduates to China, which is a company that helps ESL teachers find placements in China.
How long has Graduates to China been in operation, roughly?
So we've been running for about 2.5 years now. Most of our teachers come out for the full school year, so that's sort of around September. So this will be this summer will be our third group of teachers coming out.
What exactly, I guess, is the procedure or the main function of Graduates to China? Like, how does it operate in relation to the potential upcoming teachers?
Yeah, so what we do is obviously we advertise in the UK, in the US, and a few other countries, and basically what we do is just help people who are looking to find teaching placements in China. They'll apply to us, and we interview them and talk to them, and then basically find them placements. A lot of the placements are in Wuhan, but we also find placements in other cities in China. Then when they're out here, we also meet them and just help them settle in and that kind of thing.
I definitely want to get into a couple of things while we talk here today, Lloyd. And first, though, I think I'm going to ask you a couple of questions just on Wuhan in general, because it's an area of China that I myself have never been to yet, so I'm really interested, and I'm just curious, what a daily life is there, what nightlife is like, a little bit of everything, really, and I'm sure it's something future teachers also be interested in, really. So, I guess my first question is, what is a typical day like there?
Yeah, I mean, so in terms of Wuhan, actually, I was much the same as yourself. And before I came out here, I was also really not familiar with the place at all. As perhaps a lot of people from the UK and outside China, I wasn't really familiar with much cities outside of sort of Shanghai and Beijing. Actually, coming out here, I realised that Wuhan is bigger than London. It's a huge city, and one I just, like I said, I really didn't know much about. I mean, in terms of the city itself, it's typical of quite a few Chinese cities with regards to, the architecture and that kind of thing. But yeah, in terms of our typical day, breakfast, obviously, as throughout China, eating's a big thing, and, that's certainly true of Wuhan. So breakfast, go on any street, it's full of people eating, the sort of the local noodles here are called mian. People really like that, and not only that, they really like it when they see foreign people eat them. I'm sure it's the same for yourself when
right.
Chinese people witness you doing sort of eating Chinese food. They love it.
Yeah.
The first thing they'll do is, oh, do you like it? Well, what do you eat? Can you use chopsticks and this kind of thing? So they really like that.
Absolutely.
Always makes people happy. Whenever I tell people, I do like the local news. I eat them quite a lot, and always gets a big grin. But yeah, no, in terms of the city itself, I mean, like I say, because it's such a big city, obviously it does have, all the kind of, conveniences of any big city. It's got a metro. They're still being developed, but they've got 3 lines open right now, so it's sort of quite easy to get around. As with a lot of Chinese cities, perhaps not so much, Beijing and Shanghai, but you can get foreign foods and that kind of thing, but you do have to look for it.
Right.
If you want to go to the foreign supermarket, you do have to sort of go out of your way maybe a little bit. So it's still very much a Chinese city, but as I said, for such a big city, it does have a lot of things you'd be looking for. The nightlife, I mean, I think it's really good. I mean, well, they don't have so much, obviously, particularly in the UK at least, that kind of sort of pub culture. Every corner there's a pub you can go out. They don't really have that. They do have just, if you want to go out, there's certain places you're going to need to go to. But, they do have a lot of sort of Western style bars and, clubs if that's your thing. So, for myself, I think it's a really good mix of, on the one hand, it is a very authentic Chinese city. You do still have that, but for a foreigner living here, you do have all the modern conveniences as well.
That's one thing I've actually talked about with a few people, and one thing that it never ceases to amaze me about different cities in China. It seems like, no matter where you go, you will find several comforts to home. You know, you will find that expat community, whether it's a whole city block, whether it's even just a bar or a pub, and usually in those same places you can find like you were saying, like a grocery store that sells like, you know, has a foreign food section and things like that. In one sense, it kind of takes away from life abroad because it's, you know, your stuff from home you're used to. It's kind of distracting from taking in the new experience, the new culture. But at the same time, it's fantastic because, you know, it gives you those comforts of home. You know what I mean? And it's great to have those anywhere you go, really.
Yeah, I completely agree, actually. I mean, obviously, you know, one of the great things about coming out here is, you know, sort of integrating into the community and getting used to the Chinese way of life. But, you know, you do need to see, you know, familiar faces, and it's nice to speak English, you know. You know, you do need that side of it as well, and that is one of the great things, and not just Wuhan, but I've found it wherever I've gone in China. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do find, you know, quite a good expat community, and because you know, and everyone kind of does, you know, get on well, and you know, if you want to come out here and make friends, it is actually pretty easy. You know, it's just, you know, just go to certain places, you know, you'll see a lot of familiar faces, and that's pretty good. I mean, what you do also find, and particularly in Wuhan, is that in terms of just on the street, you really don't see that many foreign people. For example, where I live, recently I saw another guy from England, and I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. I was like, whoa, what are you doing here? I'm the English guy that lives here.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no, like I say, the great thing is that, you know, when you do sort of, you know, meet other people, whether, you know, from the US or Canada or the UK, you know, everyone is, you know, really open and, you know, just really, really friendly, and I think that's a really good thing. As a foreigner coming out here.